All right, it is 5:30 and we will call our meeting to order. Welcome everybody. Please join me in a moment of silence as we begin our meeting. Thank you. You'll join me in standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're down to the agenda. We do have some items to add. So the first one, I need a motion to amend the agenda by adding action item H, which is to approve the AIA contract between the Muhlenberg County Board of Education and Henson Construction for the Muhlenberg South Middle School Cafe renovation project.
Make a motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Joe Hart. Second by Mr. Bowers. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Aye. Motion passed. The second item to add is a motion to amend the agenda by adding consent item C, which is Dreambox Software and Services Agreement.
Make a motion.
You have a motion by Mr. Joe Hart. Second by Mr. Bowers. All those in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. The last item to add is to amend the agenda by adding consent item D, the addendum software and services agreement. Have a motion by Mr. Bowers. Second by Kim. All those in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. So that's the three items that we needed to add. So now I need a motion to approve the amended agenda. Have a motion by Mr. Bowers. And I can second that. All those in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed? Okay. We have now approved the amended agenda. So we're up to recognitions. Do you have any recognitions tonight?
We do not.
Okay.
They've requested we move those recognitions to July.
Okay. All right. Next item is our treasurer's report. Mr. Bletzinger.
Thank you.
Tonight I bring you the financials. I thought I'd remove that. So financials as of May 31st, 2024. The beginning balance is at $41.3 million. That's down $357,000 from last month. Monthly receipts are at $3.45 million, and that is down $87,000 from last month and $263,000 from the same period last year. Of those significant, the federal is down $556,000, and other is up $203,000. So expenditures, accounts payable was $1.5 million. It's down approximately $350,000 when compared to the same period last year. The significant bills in May were Bluegrass International trucks for buses were $262,726. Trifera, which were Chromebooks, was $189,840. Summit Engineering of $103,000, and Kerr Workplace Solutions of $99,696. Payroll is at $2.88 million, which is down $62,000 versus May of 2023, for a total expense of $4.4 million. Further breakdown, fixed and mixed expense was $664,809. Variable expenses were $747,000. Utility expense about $109,000. The ledger balance was $40.4 million, with a bank balance of $30.7. Outstanding checks about $1.4 million for a cash balance of $29.3. about 664,000. Special revenue is about down 390,000. Construction 103,000. However, debt service is up 222,000. For a total of about 11. Excuse me. That correctly, but so for a total of 40.36 million. I apologize. For some reason at the bottom, I'm not quite certain why.
That's good.
Cash flow needs through October of 2024, about 31.4 million. And are there any questions?
No questions? I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report. I have a motion for Mr. Johar. Can I have a second? By Mr. Bowers. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. And next on the agenda is to approve payment of bills and salaries.
This month, I bring $585,338.98. For all funds, utility expense about $63,000, fixed and mixed expenses of $341,000, and variable expenses about $181,000. Of those, another payment to Bluegrass International Trucks for $257,860, and technical training aids of about $115,000.
So how many buses is that?
That's 4.
Okay. Any questions on payments of bills and salaries? I need a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Get a motion by Mr. Bowers. Can I have a second? Ms. Kim?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. Thank you. And next is public participation. We don't have any tonight, okay. Okay, we're now up to our administrative report, so Ms. Orr. Oh, I know where to go.
I promise you I did not do that.
Did we lose Kim? Kim, are you still there? Chad? I think the team's meeting stopped. Or is it still there? Yeah. We dropped it.
Sure can come here.
Kim?
Can you hear us now, Kim? Can you hear us, Kim?
I can now. Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to minimize that one?
I'm afraid to touch it. I'll just show you. So this is just a little bit of a recap about our Grow Your Own program. We had those 4 individuals who participated in it for cohort 1, which was this past year. And I just wanted to share that those 4 ladies completed 42 courses towards their teaching degree. And then in we've got one of those individuals who has been hired for the 24-25 school year. So, yeah, we're excited. We have 3 new staff members that will be added for the 24-25 school year. So we will continue to see those numbers increase. So we're excited about that.
That's great, Andy.
I just wanted to share, when I pulled up iReady and was looking through some of the reports, this shows up right at the very, like on my first home screen. And so I wanted to share this because I feel like it's great news for our district and for our schools. This is just a chart that shows where all of our schools fall. And all of those blue dots are our K-8 students or schools. And so you'll see that we fall in the low performance, high growth, which we knew coming in, right, that the performance might be lower. So that's a great thing to see. And that's in reading. And you'll see we're all up in that top quadrant there. Now, what we would love to see eventually is that we go over to the high performance, high growth. Obviously, is the ideal, but this is, to me, a great testament to the utilization of iReady in the curriculum for reading. This one is for math. We're a little bit more kind of in the middle there, but what I do want to point out on this one is while we do fall under that low, some of them in that low performance, low growth, the column over to the far side says median percentage typical growth achieved, and iReady says we should be looking for 50% or above. And if you'll look, our numbers are 80% to 125 maybe percent growth. So we're above what iReady tells us to look for. So that's also a great thing to acknowledge, is that, it's continuing that work in math.
So that's growth from the beginning of the school year until the end?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And you're looking at the typical growth, and so iReady sets like what you could expect students, what their typical growth would be. Some of our kids, a lot of them maybe hit their stretch growth, which is above and beyond. So, but that's just looking at your typical growth. And then this is another chart I just wanted to show. I know Stacy did some last month with iReady, but I did want to share a little bit more, kind of looking at this graph here. This is that triangle we look at for MTSS, whether it's academic or behavior. And in the middle, that box shows that the typical says 80 to 90% of our students should get core instruction in the whole classroom, right? Everybody learning it at the same time. 5 to 10% need a little extra support, and then that 1 to 5% needs some strong support. So that's kind of what the average would be. The top chart is our fall, what that looked like for us, and then if you'll look, and what I want to point out is the bottom one, to show that we did make some great gains. Obviously, still work to do. We're not at that, the bottom should be 80 to 90%. Right now, we're at the 50% in Tier 1 instruction. So we do still have work to do, but it looks much better than the top triangle. And then on the other side, this kind of lists out the different categories for reading, and just for you to see, which I will share this presentation with you all so you can see. I'm scared to move that box, but I'll share that with you so you can see. Down there. Sure. All right. So you'll see at the top, let's just take phonological awareness, where the green, yellow, and the red is. And then at the bottom, you'll see we have very little red with phonological awareness. So again, showing that there have been great gains made with the utilization of the iReady program. Okay. And then this looks at math, same thing, that you see the top one is what was the fall, and then the math where we were at the end of the year. And this is everybody, so all of our students who took already, took the assessment. So again, there's those categories that you can look at and drill down and actually go down to like standards, and it tells you what standards, where everyone's working on with those standards and what's your next step and that kind of thing. So lots of great information provided with those reports. All right, so the final thing I want to recognize, we just finished up, or Martin Hall finished up their theater camp. And these were the students who participated in, it was 2 weeks from 8 to 4, 8 to 3:30 time frame for 2 solid weeks. And the what I thought was really neat, these students were grades 3 through 10th. And the ones who actually led the camp were our students, or our former students. So we had the alumni Dylan Matheny, who was the show director, and then they had 3 recent graduates and then 2 current students who were the assistant directors. So our students were leading our kids, which was really neat. And having seen them doing the practice and then see the performance after the end of the 2 weeks, amazing. Like to know that they started at the beginning of that 2 weeks knowing none of those lines, none of those dances, none of those placements, on the theater. So they did a great job on that. Next week we have arts camp, grades 1st through 7th, and same thing. We're going to have our recent graduates or some of our current students who are going to be leading that as well. So there we go.
Thank you. It's all exciting. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Personnel actions have been given to the board and placed in our minutes, so we do have those. Next on the agenda is our attendance and enrollment report. Mr. Watkins.
Vice Chairman Wells, board members, month 10, attendance was the last 4 days of school. So the end of the year in month 10 enrollment was 4,174 students, which was actually up 7 students from month 9. So we gained a few students there the last few days. And then our district attendance percentage for month 10 was 92.29%. And just a quick review of some highlights for the year. Our highest enrollment was month 1, of course. We had 4,244 students and 94.6% attendance. Our average attendance for the year was 92.3%. And then our elementary leader for the year was Bremen at 93%, and our upper grades leader was North Middle at 92.1%. And that wraps up the attendance and enrollment report for month 10. That'll be the last one for a couple months. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we will move down to our board action items. The first is consider the first reading of KSBA Board Policy Update number 47. Mr. Lytle.
All right, so it's that time of year again with our policy and procedure updates. So first, we do have the first reading of KSBA Board Policy Update number 47. Being the policy, this requires 2 readings, this being the first, and all of these are recommendations by KSBA. You have all those changes in your packet. I will make a note that policy 09.2242, that's the one that you decided to go with option 1. So that's that policy. So with that, I recommend that the board consider this as the first reading of KSBA Board Policy Update number 47.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Lytle?
What was that, 9.1?
09.2242.
Is that the medical cannabis?
Medicinal
Oh,
cannabis.
yes.
Medicinal cannabis.
I make a motion.
Now we have a motion by Mr. Joe Hart that we consider this as the first reading of KSBA Policy Update 47 and accept the proposed changes as written. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bowers. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. Thank you. The next item, I think you're up again, review of KSBA Board Procedure Update 28.
So these are the procedures that go along with our policy updates, and again, from KSBA. We will make one note with this one, the same policy that we just talked about, 09.2242, there is a procedure that's in your packet, but with us choosing option 1, the procedure is no longer relevant, so it will just be omitted. So other than that, that is our KSBA Board Policy Update number 28. This is only a one-time reading in our procedures, so I recommend that the board approve these.
I have a motion from Mr. Bowers that we approve Board Procedure Update 28 and accept the proposed changes as written. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Joe Har. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. Item D, consider awarding bids for the CDL physicals, Mr. Lau.
Item C.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just looking down. First reading of Board Policy 1.45.
Yes.
So this is the first reading of another board policy. This is a change that we have in policy 01.45. It changes the amount of time to submit items for the agenda from the original 10 days to now 3 days. And I recommend that the board consider updating board policy 01.45.
I have a motion from Mr. Joe Har that the board approve updating up Board Policy 1.45 and accept the proposed changes. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Farr. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. Okay, now we'll go to D.
There we go.
Consider awarding bids for the CDL physicals.
And so as we talked about the last time that we started accepting bids, of course, Kentucky requires all school bus drivers to have an annual DOT physical. And so we had an ad in the paper. We accepted bids through June the 10th at 10 a.m. At that time, Ms. Orr, Ms. Dukes, and myself, we opened the one bid that we received. So we only have one bid, so I would recommend that the board accept the bid from the one company that we have.
What was the bid amount?
The bid amount for the DOT physical, 58 per employee, the drug screen, 39 per employee, and the TB skin test at 15 per employee.
I didn't go much up.
And according to Kim, that's what she was looking at.
Can I get a motion to approve this bid on the bid tab sheet? Have a
Make a
motion
motion.
by Mr. Bowers. Kim, you want to second it?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. Okay, Mr. Watkins, item E, approve the amended 23-24 school calendar.
Just to be clear, so you all approved an amended calendar earlier in the year for the bank days. In June each year, we have to send a final amended calendar in to KDE. So that will include the bank days and the 5 non-traditional instruction days. This is just a routine procedure that is completed each June. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the amended 23-24 school calendar.
Thank you. Any questions?
Motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Joe Har to approve the amended school calendar. Second by Mr. Bowers. All those in favor say aye.
I'm gonna put this one on.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. Okay, item F, consider amendment to superintendent's contract.
So the amendment was agreed upon in closed session to the superintendent contract, and we just ask that you approve it. Put it into place.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Joe Har to approve the amendment to the superintendent agreement. Second by Mr. Bowers. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. And then G, consider the train service agreement.
Friend, Ernie.
Well, This is for the hosted services that we use. It's called Tracer, it's called. It's what they use to remotely monitor our systems, and it helps prevent vehicle rolls. So in the long run, it saves us money. So it's a 5-year agreement that we have with them that we've approved in the past. It is not an increase that was significant, so I did not, I went back to them and I was able to get a little off, but it still
We have a motion for Mr. Joe Hart to approve this agreement. May I have a second? Second by Mr. Bowers. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Now we're down to item H. Approve the AIA contract between the Muhlenberg County Board of Education and Henson Construction LLC for the Muhlenberg County Middle School Cafe renovation.
You'll be seeing these coming up here in the coming months, but this one is between like us and Henson Construction, which we did meet with today, regarding the renovation that's going to occur at the middle school for the cafeteria, and this is just something we need to have in place for that to occur.
Any questions? I need a motion to approve the AIA contract between the Muhlenberg County Board of Education and Henson Construction. And we have a motion by Ms. Bard. Can I have a second? Second by Mr. Bowers. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Now we're down to our board consent agenda, which is approve the minutes of the prior board meeting, consider fundraising requests. That's down in this section. It's down the bottom.
All right, I'm sorry.
Yes, that's okay. Motion to to amend the agenda by Greenbox Software and Services Agreement and the Edmonton Software and Services Agreement. So any questions? If not, I'll need a motion to approve the board consent agenda. And I'll second that. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Need a motion to adjourn.
So, boy, we finished.
Have a motion by Mr. Bowers. Second by Mr. Joe Hart.
25 minutes.
All those in favor,
Mr.
please say
Grant.
aye. Any opposed? Thank you all. Thank you everybody for coming.
What?